Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And if you are paying any attention to the cryptocurrency markets, you can see that there's been a lot of red over the last 7 days or so. And if you look to the far right as I scroll through this page, you can see that there's a lot of red. And of course, it's designed, along with the narratives that are floating about, to put the fear in the major population. Because remember, there's only about 4 or 5% of us who are invested in crypto in the first place. But this will put the fear in everyone not to invest in crypto quite yet, because they do want the money eventually. They do want the liquidity eventually, but not quite yet while they continue to fill their coffers. So they put the fear in the populaces, and I have said, and I will continue to say, you buy when there's blood in the streets, which is a quote of, I think it was Warren Buffett. You buy when there's blood in the streets. I don't know who said it first, but I'm saying it now, folks. And so, have I been buying? Yes. But this is the platform, the launching pad of a phenomenal market up ahead. And fear, uncertainty, and doubt is being spread abroad. And if you fall prey to the fear and the uncertainty and the doubt, you will miss it. You will miss it. Things will happen too fast with so much volatility that if you don't have the nerve, if you don't have the intestinal fortitude, if you don't have the conviction to invest now, you probably won't. And when you do, if you do, it will probably be at the wrong time. For those of us who are already invested, we've been waiting for this moment. And this may be the last opportunities to get some funds invested in this market. We've seen that major whales are selling off in their stocks. The Waltons, Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, the billionaires are selling, the CEOs are selling their stocks. That's usually an indicator, folks. That's usually an indicator. So if they're selling their stocks, where are they putting their money? Let's listen in.
Yeah, I guess one thing though, if you could just pull back and talk a little bit about the market for Bitcoin so far this year. I mean, there's just been this resurgence. Is that going to continue? Are we going to see a Bitcoin ETF?
Oh, I mean, that is obviously the rage. I mean, so first the surge in the Bitcoin prices. Keep in mind, I'm an operator, but I used to be a fund manager, so I keep a lot of perspectives in mind. It was really two things. Recently, you've had call it uninverting of the yield curve from a macro perspective. You had also announced that there would be less supply in treasury auction sales. So that created a backdrop from a macro perspective that was very positive for risk assets, and crypto included in that. But on a micro perspective, you had I think you called it on your own show, exuberance for these ETF potentials. I think we're getting closer to the reality of one of those. And reality is, I think a lot of these institutional managers are trying to get ahead in anticipation of that.
How are they doing that? Just by buying Bitcoin, or I mean, how do you get ahead of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they are buying. Well, if you look at the volumes, where they're coming from, if you are doing it on centralized exchanges like a Coinbase, or are you doing in a decentralized exchange, which is on-chain? Typically, the crossover investors, the institutional hedge fund types, they do it on-chain. So you can do it either through Coinbase, or you can do it through proxies. Those are basically Grayscale's product. Then you also have other proxy products out there, trusts like that. And you have certain stocks that you can buy it. So if you look at that, you would say that it was more crossover, traditional people getting ahead of the ETF announcement.
How much do you think Grayscale is spending on marketing?
Yeah, how much are they spending on marketing? Of course, they're marketing big players, but they're also marketing us. And so they've made Bitcoin blow up a little bit so they can get your attention, because Bitcoin's the flagship. Now everyone's got their attention. But after they blew up, then now they put the fear in you. But see, that fear is all relative. We know about a month or so ago, I did a video about getting on board the train. What has happened in that month period? Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. What you see here is a watch list that I have on Coinbase. They mentioned Coinbase, and I've said in prior videos way back 2 years ago that 50% of the investments in Coinbase were institutional, while they were trying to pretend that institutions were not getting involved. And this article that we just looked at, and we'll look at it again, it made the point that they've been doing it for years. Now, I don't know if I'm going to show that, but I trust me on that. I heard the man say it. I listened to it before I chose it. But let's pick some to see what has happened in a month. Okay, so I'm gonna go with XRP because that's our baby. In a month's time, if one had taken the opportunity to get on the train a month ago, despite the fact that it's down 2.5% at 60 cents today, which was also a number mentioned in the video that I'm referencing, what has it done in a month? In a month, it's gone 10.41%, and that's with them manipulating the price to try to keep it down, while they did what the man said. They try to get ahead of it. How about another one? Let's look at another one. How about, let's do 1 inch. Why not? If a person had taken the opportunity to jump on 1 inch a month ago, despite the fact that it's down 3.35% today, I also see a double bottom right here, interesting, on the daily. What has it done in a month? 23.38% in a month. Of course, it's down today, but look how high it's been, even higher. So had you listened a month ago, you would have been making money even if you decided to trade on a bi-weekly to monthly schedule. You still would have made money. Let's look at another one. Why not? Yeah, let's look at my baby that I know a lot of people have lost faith in, but it's been manipulated too. Let's look at AMP. Okay? Now, if AMP is not blue chip, at least not yet, and it's certainly gone down since I recommended it. Although initially, it's made money. It depends on if you're a trader or not. Me, I buy and hold until it does what I want it to do, like I've said many times in prior video. But right now it's down 0.62%. However, the point I'm making here is, a month ago when that video came out and I said I was excited and it was time to do something if you've been sitting on the sidelines, where would you be today? Especially if you weren't looking at this as a lottery ticket. You were looking at it as a place to put your money, to invest, and to let it sit for a moment and go to work and make some money for you. No different than putting your money in a CD. Nobody has a single problem putting your money in a certificate of deposit at a bank where you're an unsecured lender, putting their money in a bank and saying, yeah, you can hold my money for 2 years and give me 3%. What would have happened if you put your money in AMP and said you could hold my money for a month? 53%. Now, see, they don't want you to be privy to these type of advancements that are occurring in baby bites. But soon they're going to have to let this baby out the gates, and it's not going to be a baby bite. It's going to be a jump. It's going to be a leap. It's going to be a surge. So you buy when there's blood in the streets.
Can it go backwards? Sure. And I wouldn't even be surprised. People have bought in anticipation of the news and then sell it on the news, so to speak, of an ETF release. But just think about it. BlackRock has 10 trillion in assets. So, if 1% of their distribution picks up on this, that's 100 billion. 100 billion, the Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin market cap, I think, is about 700-ish. So it's like 14% increased demand, and that's only 1% of just BlackRock. You have Fidelity, you have other big players involved. So over time, it'll still continue to have positive inflows.
Yes, that's right. Positive inflows. So I want to draw your attention to a prior video that I did back when the ruling came out on the XRP. Now, this is not just about XRP, but it makes the point pretty much for every crypto out there that you're going to buy, hold, and make money on. Some of you are going to buy, sell, and make money on because 99% are going to die. So you don't want to be holding a corpse. So you want to get in, and you want to get out. For some are blue chippers, and they're always going to be around. And so when you listen to this ending here that I'm going to play from a prior video, I want you to understand that now they're starting to wrap cryptos up into ETFs, exchange traded products, like exchange traded funds, which fund managers will look over, just like the man we just listened to. But then when they wrap it up and they make it ETFs, there's a reversal, and it's probably all part of the agreement and the plan. Then it becomes a reversal, and then the exchange traded fund does fall under the jurisdiction of the SEC. Can you see what's happening? So by itself, it doesn't. And so they are free to manipulate it, and there's no violation because there's no law against it because it's not a security. So they're manipulating it out of our hands. But when they put it into an exchange traded fund, then it becomes under the jurisdiction of the purview of the SEC, and it is regulated even more so. And every coin, every crypto that goes into an exchange traded product becomes SEC jurisdiction. You follow me? Sounds like an agreement to me. If I were on the SEC losing a battle, because see, don't ever think they want all of us to get rich, because then they lose more and more power. If you've ever been listening to Augustus Kirsten, they want to have control. If you've ever been listening to him and Christine Lagarde and Georgia, whatever, you know what I'm saying, people? So the best way I can end this is let you listen to what I said, and look for this, what do you call it, thumbnail. Listen to it if you haven't seen it, because it may open your eyes to what really happened with the judgment. But I'm going to start here somewhere around the 6 minute and 57 mark, and I'm going to finish it out, and this is going to be the end of my video. And I know it's been a while since I did a video. Please like, please subscribe, make me come back and do one again. I appreciate every single one of you. So I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. And I've talked about it. I just really hope you get it. Buy when there's blood in the streets. Let's find that point that we want to get started here. 6 minutes and 57, I think it was, and we're going to see what happens. There's 58. Bingo. Have a wonderful day. Such rules that some sales were not securities, or which sales? Of course, we all know. Sales of XRP and its affiliates to the general public through anonymous exchanges did not constitute sales of securities. That's us, people. That's us. Now keep in mind the whales have been accumulating. Keep in mind market manipulation. I apologize for Bogey. And keep in mind where we are in the psychology of the market. Because many were looking for their moon date. So somebody wants you to be discouraged. Stop, Bogey. Because see, it didn't moon, did it? And so if you are not savvy and you're not one of those old schoolers like myself and many others who have been holding on for years already, you might have taken your money and run. Because keep in mind, follow the money means follow the banks are the whales. And they need XRP for the system. We don't. We need it for our own personal wealth and livelihoods, generational wealth, maybe. So the only place they can get it is where? The only place they can get it is from us, people. And so if they can shake that carpet on that psychology of the market and make you let go, they get it cheap. Remember, they have accumulated enough. They've accumulated enough XRP to manipulate the price of the market. You see this November 22 article, which the other one was September 22 in the prior video. Wells buy XRP price dip and adds 129 million XRP. That's just a scrape of the surface, folks. Don't forget, banks and financial institutions own it and will need it for the movement of cross-border money. They're global. We are not, folks. So the whales have been on a buying spree, and now they can impact the market. And that because of this ruling, remember, it's good news and it's bad news. Because of this ruling here that the sales are not securities, well, if they're not securities, then the Securities and Exchange has no jurisdiction over it. And therefore, if they do things like market manipulation, they haven't violated anything. So covertly, they are protected, and in their protection, what they are doing, having accumulated, is shaking it away from the retail hands, because that's the only place they can get it.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.